Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. NIK NIKAM and welcome to Triple N Media. Today we are going to look at how to add some contrast to your individual picture, and once you have determined the right amount of contrast, how we can apply the same contrast to hundreds of pictures using ActionScript and batch processing. And we can use the same principle to apply the logo, and in fact we can combine adding logo and special effects on the photography, and if they look good then we can use that for hundreds of pictures in a folder. So let us begin. Well, let's see, it should be, well, redrive. Let me see where we are. Okay, let us, okay, here I am going to pull up a couple of pictures of my own so I won't get penalized by people. So here I'm going to bring up this picture of mine, and this is me, Dr. NIK NIKAM. Okay, what I'm going to do is I want to apply some contrast to this picture, and if the contrast looks good, then I am going to use that in batch processing so that the same amount of contrast can be applied to 100, 200, 300 pictures in a sequence. Another thing I would like to mention is here you see my emblem, which was placed here using a batch processing feature of Photoshop, which I'm going to show you in general, because that's going to be another talk as to how to create a batch processing using action scripts. And let me come back to the action script next. First, let's focus on how to change the contrast so the image looks crisper and gives more colorful life to the photo. Let's click on image here, then go to adjustments, and under adjustments the first one is going to be brightness and contrast. Now here is the brightness and contrast. So let us first start off with let's say 25% contrast change. 26, that's fine. So this is how it looks with 25% enhancement in contrast, and if I take this preview off, you can see the difference. So this is without 25% contrast enhancement, and this is with 25% contrast enhancement. Let's go a little crazy and increase the contrast by 50%. So this is 50%, and this is enhancement of contrast 50%, and here is the original picture. Let's pay attention to the color of my suit and some of the darker objects like hair, something like that. And when I turn on the preview, you can see this dramatic enhancement of especially the black color, so the contrast increases and it gives you more like a, what I should say, like a studio or a magazine type of effect, as opposed to a flat effect which we see when there is no contrast enhancement. So we are at 50%. Let's get a little more crazy and go to 75% contrast enhancement and see how it looks. Okay, that is 75% contrast enhancement. Now it is beginning to look like what I should say, like crayon art, because if you see, the colors are just too distinct. Let's compare that with the original picture. Here's the original picture, which has soft, gentle tones going from one object to the other, and here is 75% contrast enhancement. Of course, this will look like a dream picture from a movie or something like that, but the most important thing is what is most practical and applicable to a given picture. Let's go on 100%. Let's be totally crazy. Why not? So this is 100% enhancement, and this one is zero enhancement. So by trial and error, I determined that I would like to have at least 25% enhancement of my pictures, so that it gives a more sort of a cinematic view of the people in the photo. So what I did was I created an action script. As you can see, here's the action. If you don't see it, you'll have to go to Windows and bring up actions here. Then when you see that, how to create this is a totally different topic, but let me just tell you what are the things I have added here for the action script. First, I have placed my emblem, which is NIK media emblem here, and then I added the brightness contrast, which is basically contrast. I didn't change the brightness. So contrast enhancement by 25%. Then we flatten the image and we save this. And by using this action script, I can apply the same principle to almost 100 or 200 pictures in a folder as a batch processing. And let's try to do that one now. What I will do is, let me close all these images. Now I am going to open File, Automate, and Batch. Here we have what action to be played. We have to tell them to play action NNN SIG 4. That's where we have placement of the logo. You may not appreciate the placement of the logo because it's already there. Then it will also provide contrast to the image. So now we need to choose a folder where it is located. So let's go over here, this PC. Okay, I was in drive D, and the folder was SAM, and we have contrast test. And so let us take the contrast. Both the contrast before and after have the same images, but I am going to apply the effects, namely placing the logo and contrast to the two pictures in the folder contrast after. So let's do that. Now we are going to run this action script as a batch, and I will show you. Before I do that, let me show you the folder where I am. So, okay, here's a contrast test, contrast before. Of course, you see the emblem, but these images don't have the contrast enhancement. And now what we're going to do is we're going to apply this to this particular folder. So let us go back here, and that's what we are doing here. We are bringing this folder and applying this NNN SIG 4 action script. All right, let's run it. There are only two pictures. It shouldn't take more than a few seconds. Okay, this is first picture here, which is applied. Of course, it's adding the logo again, and it's finished. Okay, let's go here and look at these pictures. So we are still here. Okay, this is before. Okay, let me do this way. This is a better way to. Okay, that's the maximum it's going to get. You just have to imagine this, because I may not be able to put them together. And here is the picture before contrast, these two pictures. And let us go back to the afterwards. And here you can see some enhancement of darker colors, and the pictures are beginning to look more realistic, sort of, as I said, cinematic view. And here's the second picture. So this is how we can batch process a given action. Let's go back to Photoshop here again and open the most recent one. Okay, in conclusion, you can create an action script, which is a totally different topic to be covered in another video. And in the action script, you can add multiple photo effects. Like here I have placement of emblem, Then right after that, I have some contrast enhancement by 25%. And after that, we have to flatten the image and save the image. And this is the whole action script that's going to be run when I run this batch processing, which is automate, batch, and then bring up this particular action and the folder to which we want to apply this action, and just run it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is in a nutshell how you can use an action script to put the logo and any number of special effects to the photos, and you can save that action script and use that in batch processing to apply the same changes to hundreds of pictures in a folder. Hope this has been useful to you, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Until next time, I am Dr. NIK NIKAM for Triple N Media. Thank you for watching.